Hi, hello. This will be a quick video about features that actually a question I was asking to myself like many times. And so let's see what was my problem and how I quite solve it. Okay, so you know that on 7.6.4 and 8.1, 8. Whatever, you have got full text search. And for example here you can see that I have an incident and my question is very important. Where are the donuts? I'm not sure it's written this way, but who cares? So let's say I want to search this using full text. So it's on top right, global search. So I search donuts and I can find my incident. And sometimes, you know, you've got a lot of questions in the community where you see people saying, oh, I'm searching for something and I cannot find it. And most of the time the answer is just, oh, I don't know, just reindex FTS, you know, just reindex everything. So my question, the question I asked myself like a while ago was, okay, full text is actually files stored on the hard drive or something. It's not stored into a database. It's using Apache Lucene stuff, and it's stored most of the time in FTS something, FTS configuration and collection. You've got a lot of stuff, and everything is stored inside of it. And you cannot really search inside of that because it's not really user friendly, you know. So my question was like, okay, how do we find a way to read what is inside? So I found something actually on Google. Not trying very hard. And it's the software is called Luke. It's available on GitHub and Google Code. I think the latest version are on GitHub actually, but you mustn't use the latest version because actually the version used for at least 8.1 is Lucene 8292, if I remember correctly. Let's see. It was written here, I think. Okay, I remember there was a file where you had the version. Oh, maybe in conf. I don't remember. I know I saw it somewhere. Yeah, okay. As you can see, you got the Lucene version 292. And so if you want to use the software Luke, you have to use something below 4, the 4 version, because after the 4 version, it only opens Lucene index is like after, like version 3 or after. So for example, Luke version 3.5.0 is can handle indexes from BMC. So how you can use it? Let's create an index folder and just take the content of the FTS configuration folder and copy it inside the folder. It's better not to work on the live index. So just double click on look all, or you have got you know, jar something, Java something to launch it, and browse to the index, FTS configuration and collection. Collection folder is where the indexes are stored. We don't care about configuration because it's stop words and things like this. We don't care about it right now. So okay, so collections. Here, if you want to use it on live, you need to check that to be safe, but to be honest, don't use it on live index. And when you click on OK, you can see that actually it loaded everything, every information you need about the indexes that are on the system. So you can see that you've got on the left it's a BMC field, BMC fields. You have got a time count, so it's a number of terms stored for this field, for example, I guess. And I don't know, I didn't really try very hard. And here you've got top terms for each field, you know. So for example, for company literal, that you can find also here, you can see that the best term is Calbro services, for example. If you, this is top terms for everything, like all time. If you want to know the top 10 for the company literal, just click on show top terms, and you see the values that you could find inside the full text search for company literal. As you can see, the rank is very high for Calbro services and not very high for the others. So you can see, if you know exactly where you're looking for, you can check if data is, for example, indexed. So for this, you can check on documents, on files. Sorry, what it if it took all the data. So you can see here it took all the data for all the folder. You can browse about the documents and the values. And you can also search. So on this thing, you know, I will just show you to search, you know, it's not, you will like to play with it a bit, you know, to see where is the data you're interested with, and, because everything is actually using Apache Lucene syntax. So you can, I will post a link to tell you how to do the syntax, basically. So here, for example, you have got the keyword on title and something. So let's try it on title. So I want to search something, so I will just use this one. Query parser, you should check this one and this one. Collector, you want all matching results for now. Just to display everything. And on the keyword, this is the default keyword. So for example, here, if I search test and I click on search, you can see here that it search on that, on this one. So if you don't want to do this, you have got to give the title, the name of the field. So for example, it's title, and it should work. This way it search on the field and it search something with test in it. Once you have got, so these are the results, and if you want, you can select a result and explain why it did find it, you know. So it found test into title. So if I browse on title somewhere, so there is test in it. So anyway, so here I'm searching for donuts. So yep, okay. So we'll search for it because obviously it's in the title, and you can see that it found donuts, and it found one entry. So you can find it also, I guess, in this field. So you basically you will have to see exactly what the field ID, what it does, anything like this. But it's a way to, for example, here we've got the incident ID in this one. You've got the support group, you've got the company, you've got support group organization, I guess, and you've got pretty much all information, you know. So you will have to check exactly how it works. So I guess it looked actually in title or rig. Where are the donuts? So one thing to know about it is so here I just checked that I found donuts, so it's okay, I'm happy. But let's say that I search for donuts with a big D. You can see it doesn't find anything because the analyzer is searching is case sensitive. So one way, because it's not exactly using the same analysis things and filters and remedy. I didn't check all the filters. But basically what you can do in this case, you just put donuts star. And in this case, that's why the query parser was like lowercase expanding terms in wildcard. So basically, if you put donuts and star, it will be like a percent, you know, in the remedy. So it's looking for everything like matches it. If you want to really match, it's the fuzzy term, so it's a tilde. And you see, it's you say that you want something that looks like donuts, you know, and you can put, so it goes from 0 to 1. So you can say, okay, I just want 0.2. And you've got much more things because there are maybe some things that look like donuts, but well, not really looking like donuts. And if you put 9, you only got 1. So you will need to play a bit with it. But basically it's very useful to, if you want to know exactly, for example, you know that you just create a KB on the knowledge, and you cannot find it immediately, or you created a change and you cannot find it immediately. So the idea is just to text the index. You know that you have to check, for example, on title or something, and you check the incident ID or one word, and you see that you don't see it or you see it. If you don't see it, that maybe it's not yet handled by the system, by the indexer. If it is inside, maybe there is something else. Maybe it's not working. Maybe if there's plugin is not working. So, and this way you can know exactly well, how it works, and you can search and see the best terms and things like this. Maybe you can do some stats. One thing to know, just so I explain how to search like with a star and fuzzy. But let's say that you want to check, I think it's company literal. I think it's this one. I'm not sure. No, it's not. I never remember. So let's say, okay, I want the field company literal. Whoa. Okay, because it was big C. Okay, and I want to search Calbro services because we saw that this was one of the biggest term used. So let's go back to Calbro. Calbro services. So I want to search it, and it won't find anything. Why? Because when you explain the structure, you can see that it's searching for Calbro and should contain also services. Because when you have got several words like this, it breaks it down and make it 2 words. So if you want to do it like 1 word, you've got to put a double quote on it, and this time it will find it. So the same, it's working exactly the same way. So let's say that you want to check Calbro services with uppercase. If you search like this, you won't find anything. So just use the star, and it would find something. So if you want to search, for example, services just alone, okay, so I don't need the double quotes anymore. If you do a star here, it won't find a thing. You can do a leading star, and you will find it. So you will need to play a bit. It's and you can do much more than this, because basically you can do this, and using also you know, OR keyword, and putting like Calbro. You see? So you can put a keyword and things like this. I'm not sure exactly it's or this way, but everything is explained basically in the Apache documentation. If you want to use like special queries or something, you can use plugins if you want to make it to do something more intelligent, I guess. But in my case, I found it like enough for me for what I wanted to do. Just checking exactly, for example, if an incident was already in the system, in the indexes, if it was already indexed. That's a good way to know, basically. One thing to know is that you can also delete and do things on the indexes using this. You can optimize. I didn't try it. I wouldn't recommend it because maybe BMC is doing something about it, so I wouldn't do it. But basically, the most interesting thing is that for all the fields, you can see that like top terms, you can see exactly if you've got your incident in your indexes. Maybe you can compare, for example, if you are previous to, or for example, if you have 7604 SP5 or 8.1, you can, you can have multiple indexers, and each of them have their own indexes. You can compare and see if everything is the same or something. I don't know. So anyway, this is a good way to know exactly what is in your FTF indexes, to do a quick search, to do verification, and then maybe to say, okay, it's normal because I don't see it because maybe it's not indexed yet. So you will go to FT pending formula, I mean SQL table, and or it's indexed and I don't know why I'm not seeing it onto remedy. So maybe there is something wrong or something. So here everything is indexed on my side, but this way you can know exactly what happened. So it was a quick video, or it's a freeware. It's actually open source, so if you want to alter it a bit, and remember, don't use the 4 version because it's the 4 version is asking for Lucene 3 or more, and as you can see here, it's Lucene 2.9 that is used by BMC, so just stick to this one. I guess there are a couple of bugs that exist still in this one, but sadly we cannot do anything about it. So yeah, anyway, just do not commit and work on separate, just copy the indexes, this way you are sure that you don't ruin anything in your system. Okay, bye bye.